Point Show on OGTV. This is where we talk about businesses, ventures, talk about profit making, and educating people who needs to know about growing their businesses. My name is Charity James. I am the anchor, and today we'll be having specialists, analysts who will be talking to us on our topics. And this topics borders on how to grow yourself and make yourself impactful in that business world. And we want to go on a break, but we'll come back. It will be time for us to have our business review segment. That is a segment that tells you what you should do at a particular time to grow your business. Our guest is standing by. We'll see you after the break. This is the business review segment of the Profit Point Show, and today we want to talk about how to run social media ads. And there's an expert in the house that will talk about social media media ads and tell us how we can do this ad without problems. Her name is Francisca Chioma. She is someone who is into that business, a marketer, a advertiser, someone who can tell us how you can run your social media adverts without problems. Welcome to the program, Francisca.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome. Nice to have you here. My name is Francisca.
Okay, Francisca is actually joining us via Zoom from Enugu State, and she'll be telling us how to run a perfect ad on all our social media platforms. So, Francisca, let's talk about what we really mean by social media ads. When you talk about social media ads, what are you portraying? What are the things that you should do? What are the processes? What are the things that you must put in place before you can run those ads?
When we talk about social media ads, we are talking about ads that we are talking about business owners showcasing their products or their platforms, which we know like Facebook, Instagram, Google, and other social media platforms. So the word social media advertising in summary is advertising platforms on social platforms. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now talking about social media ads, do we have a specific way of running those advertisements, or other than the conventional way of running them? Do we have a process for it? Do you have what you should do at a particular time? Do you have a procedure? Do you have a specification of all the things that you must put in place before you can run them at all? Can you explain that for us?
Alright, so when it comes to running social media ads, it is not like the usual traditional marketing, because advertising is you need to first of all decide what product or the purpose of your service on social media is for you to reach more people. So for you to get started, you need to first learn how to run ads on that particular platform. To run social media ads on Facebook. Social media ads in the sense that whenever you see any post on Facebook that has description sponsored under the page name, that is a social media advert. So before you want to run these ads on Facebook or any, how to use it. So there is what we call ads manager. We make use of a Facebook to cause ads manager in running these ads, right? So before you get started with running social media ads on any platform, you need to first different places, there are different persons that you can meet, or there are different agencies that you can meet to learn how to run these ads.
Okay, now let's move a little bit into it. What are the things that you think a business owner, the platforms, should they look at the platform? Should they have a specific platform that will run their advertisement well? What I mean is that, for instance, now for a businessman, do you think Facebook is the right one to use for running a business? Let's say a small scale business, let's say a medium scale business. What are the social media platforms that you think can be used perfectly for businesses?
All right, so when it comes to different social media platforms and different adverts that can be done there, we have something. There are platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google, and the rest. So when it comes to platforms like businesses that maybe when you want to advertise on Facebook, it might not try. So Facebook, I'm going to be using Facebook and Instagram for example. There are some products and services that you are going to advertise on Instagram that will do well if going to get customers at all, but then the quality or the kind of people, the kind of audience or the kind of customers you get from these different. So let me give an example. Let's say, for instance, you want to run an ad where you are selling a physical product, right? Most physical products perform with Instagram in the sense that Instagram users are already used to payments on delivery, payments after delivery. So for instance, when you want to run an ad, or if you are looking for a social media and not bother too much on payment before delivery, you are going to choose Instagram as the best platform. Most people on Facebook will always seek delivery before payment, right? When you bring it to their doorstep before they make payment. So let's take Instagram real estate brands. There are real estate brands and Google. Real estate ads perform because the quality of audience on Google search or YouTube ads is not the same with that of Facebook, right? So there are some business depending on what you are advertising. But then for Facebook, when you want to sell a low ticket product, like when you want to sell something that is 1K, 2K, 3K, and the rest, you can easily get people who are going to pay on Facebook. Products and services we call high ticket. In Nigeria, and when something is 50,000 naira, 100,000 naira and above, we see this as high ticket. You can advertise these products more and get more quality buyers from Instagram, YouTube, Google, and the rest. This platform will run those products better than Facebook.
Okay, we understand now. That means that each platform has their own users and their own so those who run it, and they have a specific target on the social media. Now let's talk about why a business owner must use social media advertisement. Is it a must? Must you use it? What are the benefits? Why are they very important to use?
Alright, so when it comes to the reason or the why a business owner must utilize social media adverts for their business, it is not a must. Nobody, not like if you don't do it, your business is not going to thrive. But then it's a way of scaling your business. So let's take a typical business owner, for example. Let's say a business owner who sells bags, who sell physical products like bags, shoes, hairs, and the rest. If you are this kind of business owner and then you are making 1 or 2 sales in a weekly basis offline, let's say with more word of mouth marketing, you go to somebody. When you come to social media, running social media adverts is going to give you the opportunity to advertise that your business, that your bags or your physical product to a large number of audience. Let's take Facebook for example. There are more than 3 million. So imagine you as a business owner, let's say a percentage of this audience will be of you being limited with the physical market, whereby you have to meet somebody to advertise. You know, to set up a sponsored ad on social media, which a day you can actually be reaching more than 10,000 persons. Then imagine 10,000 persons sees your product on a daily basis. Let's say you're running an advert and you are targeting that this ad you are running is going to reach at least 10,000 persons daily. Out of those 10,000 persons that are going to see your adverts, you should be getting, there is no how you are not going to get customers, right? So social media ads is very, very important and very, very essential for any business owner who is looking to scale their business, who is looking to make more sales, who is looking to never run out of sales. Yes, so this is one major reasons for daily consistency. These are more reasons why business owners should leverage social media ads.
Okay, the second leg to that question is, what is the specific business objective that should be focused on when running social media ads? The business objective, what are business owners supposed to do, or what are the guidelines they must follow if they want to run this social media advertisement?
Alright, so when it comes to the ad, there are what they call ads objectives, right? So I'm going to be using platforms like Facebook and Instagram, for example. This Facebook and Instagram is called Meta platforms, right? So when it comes to the objectives, we have different ad objectives on this platform. We have objectives like the sales objective, we have the engagement objectives, and we have the click objectives and the rest. We have the lead objective and the rest. So for a business owner to use any of these objectives to run ads for their business, I'm talking about Facebook ads now, for example. You need to first of all understand your product or your service, what you want to advertise. So let me give an example. So let's say you're a business owner and you're looking to make sales. Let's say you have a web to your website, you want to set up an ad on Facebook or on Instagram. You want these people to send you a message to go to visit your website from buy whatever product, commerce, or who sells physical products or digital products. So there is an objective on the ads manager called sales objective, whereby you set up the ads and then you just impute. Let's say you're a business owner, you don't want to get messages in your inbox, in your WhatsApp. So let's say that, so this is the sales objective now, is mostly used for running ads directly to your website. So there is another objective called the engagement objective, right? Who wants to get WhatsApp messages, right? Either you want to get messages in your Instagram account or your Facebook or WhatsApp. So this engagement objective is used when you want to run an ad and get people send you a message on WhatsApp or on Instagram or on Facebook. So we also have the traffic objective. Is mostly used to sometimes grow Instagram accounts. Let's say you want to run an ad to grow your Instagram followers and all of that. So the different ad objectives, all of them are very, very useful depending on the goal of your ad. So before you want to run an ad or select an ad objective, you need to first of all understand what you want to go to objective, what they are used for. By learning them, you can product and service that want to advertise. This is the best objective for it. So this is what I can say for the objective aspect of it for now.
Okay, how do a business owner, how do they identify their target audience, the right audience that will buy for them? How should they, there are a lot of people on social media and you want to sell. You believe that anybody that comes across your product or services on the social media should be able to patronize you. How do you target the right people that will buy from you?
Alright, so when it comes to this audience targeting on advertising, one interesting thing about running social media ads instead of just randomly posting on social media is that this platform gives you the opportunity to target your ideal customers. Your ideal customers in the sense looking for, it gives you the opportunity to target the age of your customer, their behavior, what they're interested in, and all of that. So let's take for instance, we have business owner A who wants to advertise a real estate product, right? And you know that it's not just a random person cannot just come and buy a real estate product. Do you understand? And then let's say that this business owner is looking to run this ads and sell to Nigerians in diaspora. Do you get? So when it comes to this target audience, as a business owner who wants to run ad, the first activity or the first exercise I used to advise business owner to do is to sit down and think. Get a pen and a paper and ask yourself, who is my ideal customer? First of all, you need to ask yourself, who is this customer? What is their age? When you write down, let's say you are advertising a real estate product, then you tell yourself that your ideal customer is Nigerian, living in diaspora. So Bola is his name. Right now, you can say that your ideal customer is a civil servant in whatever country it is, or a government worker, or a journalist, or a digital marketer. You write it down. Then you ask yourself, what is the age range of this my ideal customer? This is not just applicable to real estate. This is applicable to real estate, for example. Then you ask yourself, what is the age range? So somebody that is 18 years cannot just bring out 5 million, 10 million naira to buy a land. So that is where age comes in. So you can say that, okay, my and your property to people from these people from 30 years and above, or from 35 years and above, are Nigerians living in diaspora, or even if they are not living outside the country, they are Nigerians who work in a certain government or who has a certain title. So when you're writing down these things, you ask yourself, which events do they attend to? What kind of books do they read? These things. This is going to give you a list, a technical list of who you should target. Now, when it comes to running social media ads, the interesting part of this is that when you now go to, let's take Facebook for example, when you now go to Facebook, there is an option for you to target the location. Let's say you want to sell something and you want to sell it to someone in Canada, you are in Nigeria. You can target Canada in your location. Do you get? You can target Canada in your location. Then when it comes to the age from 18 plus, because autumn age to 18, then you can shift your age to above, to 35 to 60 years and above, for you to be able to target this audience. Then when it now comes to their behavior, their occupation, you cannot target in your ad manager, network, the digital marketing that they are looking for. So with this social audience, business owner sit down, customer is, you know you're not be selling a weight loss product and be targeting people who are slim. No. Do you understand?
I do.
Define, you know your business, sit down. Where people get it wrong is when they just jump in the social media to run ads without sitting down to define who they are. Okay. You cannot come to the platform and target all these things. So this is all for.
Okay, so can social media ads, can it be done all by yourself, or you need help when you want to place this advertisement? Can you do it, or you need a professional advice or professionals or to help you run the advert?
Okay, so let me start by saying that both of them, you can do both, right? You can run it by yourself. You can also make use of the service of an ad expert. So let me use myself. Advertising. Let's say I'm a business. Okay, let's use a random business owner for it. Let's say a business owner who doesn't know everything about social media ads, because you don't have the knowledge, but you need it to make sales in your business, and then you know that maybe you can't wait to learn and master this skill. Ad expert, whether Google Ads or any platform, you can use the service of these ad experts to advertise your business. So whether you are doing it by yourself or you are paying somebody, the sole aim is making more sales and increasing your revenue, making more profit and making more sales. Do you understand? So a business who knows how to run these ads by themselves can actually do it by themselves. And then a business owner who don't know, or there are some business owners who know, but then they want to outsource it, just like my advertising agency what you actually do is to help people advertise their products or their service online. So you can make use of an advertising agency when you want to, you just want to outsource it. So it's either you do it yourself or you find an agency or someone who can actually run the ads. So long as your sole aim is making more sales or achieving the desire to go.
Okay, thank you, Chioma.
So that is all from me.
All right, though network is not really very friendly with us this morning, but we are just barely hearing what you're saying. Before we allow you leave, can you advise those who are just new on this social media advertising and what you think they should get rightly before they start advertising on social media?
Right, so before I leave, I would like to advertise individuals. I don't want to just narrow it down to business owners because this social media ads is for every individual. You have a space, you have a way around social media. So business owners and you're a business owner and you are looking to make more sales for your business because but then in layman's understanding, it's just a form of making more sales. So if you are looking to make more sales, if you're that person that is struggling with sales, you are posting on your WhatsApp status, nobody is buying, and then nobody is sharing your link and all of that. You've got to learn, it's high time you learn how to run ads on social media, right? So when you learn these ads, so instead of imagine making, give yourself a target. If you have a business goal, social media ads is one sure way of helping you achieve your business goal. Let's say you are looking to make 1 million naira every month. Once you are looking to make more sales, increase your revenue, and scale your business, and is just the life of your business, right? That's just it. So I'm not saying that you cannot actually make sales on your own, but then you need to leverage social media as to scale, right? You need to see all these big brands. If you come to social media, I see brands like all the big brands, all of them, they are running ads on social media. Even musicians, every kind of occupation, they run ads on social media to get more people. So, as I mentioned, if an individual, let's say you are an undergraduate, let's say you're a grad, or you start home on that, or you are just a random person looking for a sustainable business, because I wouldn't call social media advertising a side hustle because it's actually a business, right? So, if you're looking for a sustainable business that you can do, work from home, because the world is going digital and people are just looking for the easiest way to do things. And still get it done. So if you are looking to make money, learn how to run social media. Okay. So when you learn how business owners who are paying, you can charge you are 50,000 monthly, 100,000 monthly, 200,000 monthly to run the ad. So with this, you are not utilizing social media. You have created an employment opportunity for yourself, a job opportunity for yourself, where you are now making more money for yourself. Okay. So if you're a business owner and then you still want to run these ads for people, you are running the ads for your business, making more money, and then if you still have that time to run it for others, they pay you, and as an individual, you need social media advertising to grow.
All right, thank you so much.
So that is all.
Okay. Thank you for those explanations. Thank you for taking us through how to run social media perfectly and making profit, improvement, and scaling yourself along the line. Thank you so much, Francisca Chioma, who actually joined us from Enugu State. Thank you for coming on the program.
You're welcome.
All right, that will be the size of the first segment of the Profit Point Show. When we'll come back after this short break, it will be time for us to go into the second segment where we talk about skill and vocational acquisition. We'll see you after the break.
Dab. Yes. One day as I did dab, they go. Now I might see my neighbor on top electric pole. Maybe how my hold so before. So climb every day. Come on, electric bill. You not gree pay. Waiting concern you for there. I beg you. Come over here. Government property. Now my property. If you don't come down now, I go report.
Not be only report. Now report card.
Okay. Oh. Dab, 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 dab.
Make una no sit down look o.
Punctuality is the habit of arriving or happening at the time that has been agreed.
All right, this is the skill acquisition segment of the Profit Point Show that we call sectorial segment. And on the segment, we talk about vocational skill with the aim of telling our young ones the importance of skill acquisition and why you must grow the economy along other sectors. Today, we want to talk about skill acquisition as a tool for social development. And the guest this moment is Mr. Ebenezer Kafo. Actually, he is a lecturer because he will be teaching us what the young ones should know about skill acquisition and other people should know about skill acquisition and how we can use it to develop our society. That is the aim of this educative session for this moment. Now, Mr. Kafo, you're welcome to the Profit Point Show.
Oh, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Good to see you.
All right, thank you for coming. Now we want to talk about what the role of skill acquisition is in personal and community development. Why must you take it personal and why must you transfer such skill to the community for development?
We talk about skill acquisition. It seems as if it's something that is too big and something that we don't understand. But skill acquisition is just the basic things, you know. And given the advancement in technology, it gives different aspects or different segments or different technologies that have been applied to skills and even the methods of acquiring those skills. So it's something that is important and needed at this time and building it together with social development. So it's a tool to drive all manner of social development and even personal. We start from personal down to the society.
Okay. What skill acquisition contribute to overall social development? Let's analyze now. What do you see in the society these days, and what are the skills that you think will bring in more development? Which areas should Nigerians focus on when we want to acquire all those skills?
Okay, when we look at Nigeria and where we find ourselves given the present social economic conditions in Nigeria, we find out that poverty is increasing and people are out of jobs, people are even barely find food or even find a way to move about. So to me, what basic skill I think that everyone needs is any skill that will give them that economic empowerment to have something doing. We can't continue depending on the regular 9-to-5 jobs, maybe from government or from private entities. Those multinationals will not employ everybody. So we have to get down to skills that could give us economic empowerment. I wouldn't know if I should go ahead to mention those skills, but any skills that will give you economic empowerment as basic as what the needs are in your community. So you may not just, I wouldn't encourage anyone to just learn any skills. Yes, tech skills are coming up now, and yes, it's beautiful, but if you don't have the tools to get the tech skills, at least start somewhere. You could maybe either learn a skill, learn a mechanic work, or learn how to cook, or learn how to maybe repair handsets, learn hairdressing skills, learn the basic ones that could get you going before we now talk about the higher skills that require maybe technological tools or technological like laptops and all. So just any skills that could help you stay out of poverty and be able to fend for yourself and family. That's for me the basic.
Okay, the basic. Okay, starting from the foundation is essential. Now let's talk about unemployment and the poverty level. Someone said with this skill acquisition, we can reduce unemployment and reduce the level of poverty in the society. Do you subscribe to that? Why should everybody now have a skill?
Okay, you know why everybody should have a skill? A friend of mine used to say that education is different from schooling.
Okay.
Education is different from schooling. Now, everybody is going to the school to either obtain a degree, MSc, BSc, HND, OLD, but schooling, in his words, forces someone to do what the system wants. But education, where I would like to classify skill acquisition under, allows an individual, allows you to explore the creativity of your mind, allows you to use your mind to solve the problems in your community. So with the skills you have, it empowers you to solve, first of all, your problems, and if yourself you stay out of hunger, you're not hungry, you can then think about your immediate family. You can then go down to the society. So education is important in the aspect of skill acquisition. However, you get either formal education or the informal education of getting a skill. It helps you because if you engage yourself, it's going to help you to stay, not just stay relevant, it helps you to be able to sustain yourself without requiring external aid. An organization like as Nigeria is, if Nigeria has more of their citizens are self-reliant and able to fend for themselves and fend for Nigerians ourselves, we will be requiring foreign aids because we have the initiative to create what we have to solve our own problems. So if we can solve our own problems, the problems of our family, and solve the problems of our society, we will be requiring urgent 2K or urgent whatever. So if you can solve your own problems, you don't need to be disturbing anyone. So that for me is the importance of skill acquisition in helping us to curb crimes and of course curb poverty.
Okay, let's talk about the marginalized communities now. How can we use skill acquisition to improve the economic status? How can skill acquisition be used in that line so that those communities we see as being rural can come out strong with the skills and provide solution to the society?
You know how the world is divided by a lot of things dividing our world. There are lots of differences in the world, and these inequalities can be found anywhere. It's not just about the persons in the rural community. Okay. We find the persons that are differently able, like the persons that are disabled, they use that word, that are differently able. Like there are lots of things like make us unequal. But where skill comes in, and one beautiful thing about this skill, just as I was talking about comparing schooling and education, where it's beautiful is that it removes the classism. No one asks you again, like, what degrees do you have? No one is asking you what you have. No one is asking you where you live. cares whether you're living in a village, no one cares whether you're living in a skyscraper, no one cares, but the thing you have is skill. And how these skills help to create the world is, nowadays, if you ask you, what can you offer us? They're not asking you what degrees do you have. They are not asking you where do you live. They are not asking you the question of maybe are your parents rich. They are not asking you about your social class. They are asking you what skills do you have. So if someone, let's say I grew up from a rich home, and I have another person that grew up from a village, and we come for maybe there's an opportunity ahead of us. At that point, we are now equal because we have the same skills, kind of. If we have the same skills, for example, data analysis skills, let's use a technical skill or a technological skill, data analysis, and there's an opportunity for data analysis. And I'm a son of a rich guy, and another person is coming from a rural community, and maybe not, the family is not fully able to maybe make ends meet. At that point, the skills have brought us together to be equal because we have the same skills. So if people that are in the rural and urban communities can have the same zest to approach skills the same way, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter whose son you are, it doesn't matter where you live. If you could get that skill, you'll become relevant.
Okay, so invariably you are saying that skill acquisition can help reduce the number of formal employment that people look out for.
If that's the way you're putting it, I would say yes. Of course, I would say yes, because you know the social condition of Nigeria, the how you churn out statistics. So, equal. So the skills that we talked about is the same skills that we would use if you are employed. If you are employed in a formal setting, like the normal 9-to-5 job. Now, if you decide to obtain the normal skills like data analysis, like how to make soaps, or how to maybe lead, how to create stuff, you will still be relevant. So the emphasis is on relevance, like regular jobs, or whether you're at home or in your small shop. So far you are relevant. So that relevance brings us to the common base.
Okay, now let's talk about the role that formal institutions, educational institutions, play in ensuring that skill acquisitions are gotten. What do you think they should do? You know that some institutions are purely for education, some are mixed, and some are purely for skill acquisition, vocational skill. So how do you ensure that these institutions play their role and they're not lagging behind in social development?
Okay, I'll take instance for myself as a lecturer. I teach at Abia State Polytechnic in Aba. It's a polytechnic and it's different from the university because the polytechnic tends to be more vocational than the university. So in the polytechnics we have like kind of upper hand because we deal with real life technicalities and field work, like we are exposed to the technical things of what is happening. But in other, say, the universities, you find lecturers still using old handouts. You find teachers and professors still using old handouts that they've been using for, say, 20 years, 15 years ago. And those things are really not nice because those textbooks are not solving the problems of now. So even in our school in Polytechnic Aba, there was an introduction of the text we use. We called it the introduction of a local content curriculum.
Okay.
Where what was posed on us is to look at our curriculum, our existing curriculum, and know how we can tailor it down to to the present needs of our community or needs of the global space and modify it to suit if our students are being equipped to meet the problems in the society, to produce a local content curriculum. And that curriculum is now guiding our students to be equipped to not just own the HND or the OND degree. Like for instance, yesterday I teach in the Department of Quantity Survey to field trips. But this time around, because of the advancement, we have to take them to a relevant site that will give them the overview of what the construction world looks like. Put them on field trips, and tomorrow they are going for site visits. And the on Monday they will be going for market surveys to get to the market, to see real life things. So it's beyond our educational system, should look beyond the classroom setting. See the real world problems and design your curriculum to solve the real world problems and introduce technology. The world is investing so much now in the use of AI. AI. So we are advising our schools and our other lecturers to see how we can modify our curriculum so as to help students know how best to use AI tools. Because whether we like it or not, students are going to use AI, for instance. And we have to show them the right way so as not to reduce their creativity.
Okay, now let's go back to the government and their policies and such stakeholders who are into that field of skill acquisition. What should they do to support skill acquisition, since it is the in thing now? You can use skill acquisition in any form that you want to use it, so the support is needed. How do governments support? How do organizations support? How do stakeholders in skill acquisition sector, how do they support skill acquisition?
Okay, I like the word we use, stakeholders. So it's not just the government.
Yeah.
It can be UNI, it can be non-governmental organizations, it could be regular, it could be Open State TV, and we must commend them for having this segment of the program, because it helps. It's one of the ways, because you are filling in the gap. Yeah. And I believe the local governments or the government in your state, there are several techniques they are using. In my state, for example, the government is planning maybe let's say I also run an NGO.
Okay.
I also run an NGO, but then I mention it, but there are some other NGOs that are organizing skills nowadays. But the problem is not just the skills. The problem is the youth. Do they have the interest to learn those skills? And also, there are some persons that have learned those skills. The Bible said, sorry, I'm a Christian, and the Bible said, freely have you received and freely you shall give. We still have some persons that have